Well, hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCalsabre here, and it is Saturday. So this week we're going to do a combination. I'm going to review the albums and CDs that I listened to this week, and then I want to do a quick thing to show you what's my favorites week by week for the month of June. So I hope you go down there and hit that like button right now. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and put some comments down there. You like any of these albums or CDs? If you have them, if not, what is your favorite ones that you have? Or what did you listen to this week? So I was going to get started. The first one I got was a used one off of Whatnot, and I was very, very happy with the sound of the album. Now the cover, a little wear and tear in the cover, so it could only be rated good at the most. As you can see, that the corners there's no splitting, but there is a lot of wear and tear. And this is Fragile by Yes. This is a 1972 album. It's their fourth studio album, all prog rock. If you like prog, you got it. And Fragile received only, mostly a positive reception with some criticism directed at the solo tracks. It became a greater commercial success than its predecessor, reaching number 4 on the U.S. Billboard Top LPs chart and number 7 on the UK Albums chart. There's a gate, there's the front, and there's the back. I just, it was so tempting. They just this week released a updated remix, Steve Wilson remix version of this. And I do have the remix version of Aqualung by Steve Wilson. I like that, so I'm really tempted not to upgrade this. Just trying to I got a light going over there, trying to help out today. And I had to go into this other room because I've been busy. It's later on in the day. And it's on the green and yellow, green and red Atlantic label. In pretty good shape and sounded really, really good. The vinyl is very, very nice on this for this age as compared to the actual album cover itself. So apparently whoever's played it a lot took care of it once it was outside the album cover, because that was real good. That was my first one of the week, and that was Fragile by Yes. So my second one of the week was one that I picked up. This group just became known to me. I think they're only about this is their first album, and they're called the Dirty Knobs. This is Reckless Abandon, and it is a 2 LP. Now, this was passed out in 2020, and I did some research, and this is their first album. And, it has 13 tracks. It's their debut album released in 2021. So if you like Tom Petty, you'll like this, but it's just a little bit heavier. And the Tom Petty sounds probably due to Mike Campbell, who was in the Heartbreakers and in Mudcrutch with Tom Petty. So this was their first one that came out. They've since, the most recent release is Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. I really enjoyed this. If you're a Petty fan, I do recommend that you check this out. Go to your streaming service and check into it. It's pretty cool stuff. Trying to get it closer so you can see the pictures a little better without getting the light in the way. They got one song on his they actually say the word, but it's F that guy. The lyrics are pretty funny to it. And this comes out on their on an orange label, and it's got their name right on it. It's called the Dirty Knobs or Noobs. Knobs, I guess it would be Knobs. So this will get replay, and I will be adding more of Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs to my collection. So that was the second one this week was Reckless Abandon by the Dirty Knobs. Check it out on your streaming service. So I'm off to a good way start with Fragile in this one, Reckless Abandon. And then my third one for the week was Dangerous Age by Bad Company. Now, I'm going to show you this cover. And it's strange how life has changed over the decades of what is acceptable on records or pictures and so forth. So here's another one from the day by Bad Company, Dirty Age. Yep, he's smoking a cigarette or lighting it up. It's a very good album. I never heard it before. A lot of good stuff on here. And I'm not sure if any of this was a hit for them or not. Let's see what I got. No, this was their 8th studio album, and it helped bring the group back into the spotlight with major radio airplay for the tracks No Smoke Without a Fire, which reached number 4. Oh, no, it was the number 4 track. One Night and Shake It Up, all reaching the top 10 of Billboard's album rock tracks chart. Peaked at number 58 on the album 200 chart. Pretty good album. You like Bad Company? Check it out. It's called Dangerous Age. And once again, this was on Atlanta. This was a whatnot, and it was in really good shape. Now, look at the vinyl. So another good one by Bad Company, Dangerous Age. So how y'all been doing today? I've been a busy day today. I spent the morning finished watching the NHL draft. I'll be putting out my wrap up on that pretty soon. Not today though. This is Saturday. This is for this one. The next one I got on a whatnot. I don't know why I got it because I didn't recognize it. This is called Back to Zero by Trickster. All right, and it's Trickster. It's a 1979 promo. It's the second of 2 albums by the English hard rock and art rock band Trickster, released in 2019 on Jet Records. The music style is likened to ELO, the style, not as good as ELO. When I was listening to it, I was trying to figure out, what does this sound like? It sounds similar to something else that I listened to, and it was ELO. Okay. And then this is the Jet Records label. And there's a promo. See, it says right on there, demonstration, not for sale, Jet Records. It's always nice to get promos. I never had one earlier in my life. I've got a couple now, but I don't go out hunting for them. If I happen to run across them and I can get them at a reasonable price, I will get them at a reasonable price. So this is Back to Zero by Trickster from 1979. All right, so then it was time during the week for me to go to CDs. And the first one, which is number 5 in my collection that I listened to, was Full Moon Fever by Tom Petty. What a good CD this is. This was Tom Petty's, in 1979, his promo, 1989 or something, his promo debut solo studio album, solo, without the Heartbreakers and so forth. And it's got really, really, really good stuff on them. Which became Tom Petty's commercial peak as an artist, was helped by favorites, critical reviews, and 3 hit singles. Got a nice little booklet in it. And it comes on a nice Tom Petty CD. So I've had a pretty good week so far. But how can you not remember? I don't have my glasses on, so Free Falling. There's so many good hits on here, and I can't read it because I don't have my glasses on. Well, you know what? I got my magnifying glass right here also. Let's take a look this way. Free Falling. Love is a Long Road. Running Down a Dream. Zombie Zoo. Lots of good stuff on this CD. If you missed it, it's worth getting, worth checking out. And again, the name of the CD is Free Falling. Number 5 in my CD collection from Tom Petty, his debut solo album. So it's still on a pretty good roll this week. So then the next CD, which is number 6, it's by Jackson Browne, and it's called The World in Motion. Trying to get it some. I don't know why I keep hitting that one light there like this. That's crazy. All right. Okay. There's the back. This is Jackson Browne's 9th album, peaked at number 45 on the Billboard 200, and was Browne's first album to obtain in neither gold nor platinum status. And it makes some statements about nuclear disarmament and the secret governments. It's Oliver North and Iran-Contras. I particularly don't mind political music, but for some reason, this didn't hit a good spot with me as far as the lyrics go. But you like Jackson Browne, you want it in the collection, right? All right, got a nice little booklet in here. Oh, I see what it's the plastic that makes that reflection when I put the plastic up here. Lighting's better because you can actually see text today. These lyrics, yes, they are lyrics. Anybody Jackson Browne fans? I like some Jackson Browne stuff. It's probably not the only Jackson Browne I have in my entire collection. But I'm not sure if it'll get a lot of replays now that I've heard it again because of it just didn't hit me right. It didn't for some reason. You know, there's a lot of stuff that Neil Young puts out, anti this, anti that, which it's okay. But this one here just didn't hit the spot. Nice looking CD though. So that was World in Motion, number 6 CD in my collection by Jackson Browne. Well, if you watched last week's finale, you'll probably know what this one is. Because last week I finished up with I'm doing that albums one at a time out of my collection. I finished up with number 21, which was the Beatles' Red album. So number 22 is the Beatles' Blue album. I believe the 70s or 67 to 70. This one here's got quite a bit of wear and tear on it, but I probably haven't been chasing this one around since the 73 when it came out. So that means it went over to Belgium and it came back here to the States with me. When I was looking at this, I got ring wear on here. Looking at this album must got played a lot more because it's in worse shape than the Red was. When I was looking at this, I didn't realize that set that came out in 1920 or 2023 actually included 9 more tracks. I thought that was pretty cool. And based on this one here, actually on the vinyl itself had trying to get away from there. The vinyl itself actually had more popping in it than the red did. So it either needs a really good cleaning, which I'll do, and then I'll try it again. But it's also making me lean towards, which I didn't want to do before, getting the 2023 ones and upgrading. What great songs in this album, on these two albums. We're on the Apple label. Looks like it's pretty good shape, but you get some popping on it, a lot of static. You know, I don't know. Any of you guys use one of those Milfy Zero Stat guns? I hear some people talk about how good they are, but you know they're a little costly. If they're not that good, I don't want to put that kind of money into it. Let's see what we got here. Did I show you the inside? Yeah, I did show you the inside. But you know, it starts off with Strawberry Fields Forever, Penny Lane, and Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And we're going to go over to the next side. And we got I Am a Walrus, The Fool on the Hill, Magical Mystery Tour, Hey Jude. You know, then part 3 is we got Back in the USSR, and Get Back, Don't Let Me Down, The Ballad of John and Yoko. And then the final side of Here Comes the Sun, Come Together, Octopus Garden, Let It Be, and The Long and Winding Road. 4 great sides of tracks on here. When you don't listen to the Beatles all that often, at least for me, it doesn't. It surprises me to remind me how many great songs they put out. So that was what I listened to this week. So what I'm going to do now, we want to end. This won't take too long. If you've been watching at the end, I've been putting out a monthly at the end of which songs I liked the best out of each week, not overall. So let me bring this up here, and we'll see what we can do here. All right. I don't know if you're going to be able to read it or not, but this was week 1. Okay. And the yellow highlight is ones that I enjoyed the most on week 1. The third one down is Boston by Boston. Their debut album. That thing is really, really good. And it's been missing from my collection way too long. And the other one that I really enjoyed was Harvest by Neil Young, his 4th studio album. You know, The Clash was good, you know, and they could have made it. Essential Van Morrison, that was 2 CDs. That was a lot of Van Morrison to listen to at one time. Images and Words by Dream Theater. I really enjoyed that. This was new to me, to my collection. I had bought that CD just prior to that week. So that was week 1, Boston and Harvest. So we're going to go over here to week 2 real quickly. And the 2 that I liked was Power Slave by Iron Maiden. That really rocked. Their 5th studio album. Yeah, heavy metal, but it was the first album with the same lineup as the previous one. You know, and they toured for almost a year on that. That was really a good album. Then the other one that I really liked, I wanted to upgrade. I mentioned it earlier that I wanted to upgrade Aqualung, so I got Aqualung, not knowing that I was getting the Steve Wilson remix from 2011, the 40th anniversary of the 71 release, and that remix was really, really good. And that's why, you know, I'm thinking about the Fragile one also from Yes. So that was the 2 that I really liked, Power Slave by Iron Maiden and Aqualung, the Steve Wilson remix by Jethro Tull. Steel Wheels was in there. The singles from the Carpenters. I forgot how many good songs that the Carpenters actually put out. Karen had such a great voice. Another one, Gone Too Young, Gone Too Soon, don't you think? All right, and then the next week. Okay, trying to get them all in there. I started off with a Thick Freakness by the Black Keys. And this is the one that I said that I need to listen to again to try to make a final judgment on it, because that's the way it's been going with my Black Keys. But I did not have the time this week to listen to it again. I probably will, hopefully, next week. And then, Van Halen 2 I played. But the biggest ones that I liked the most was the 1971 by Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Tarkus. That was their 2nd studio album. It went to #1 in the UK charts, and it became the only album by the band to do so. What a good prog album that is. I am so happy to have that in my collection. And then the other one is Time Loves a Hero by Little Feat. I didn't have any Little Feat in my collection until I got this, and it was their 6th studio album, and I really did like it. So Little Feat will probably get some more into my collection later on down the line. Of course, lastly, the Beatles, the Red album, 62 to 66. That could have easily put that over either one of those. But I particularly like Tarkus and Time Loves a Hero by Little Feat. So that was that week. And now we're going into, I think, the final week, which was this week. And my favorite hits this week were Fragile and Full Moon Fever. Beatles didn't make it either week. But if I had to do top 10s and everything, yeah, they might get into there. Well, all the ones that are highlighted will get into a big countdown towards the end of the year. I might do it a half year or at a half year mark so I can cut down some of it. So anyway, that was it for this week. And that was my favorites for the month of June. And so I hope you all enjoyed it and keep watching the Spinning Now albums or videos. This is SoCalsabre saying thank you very much for stopping by. Take care of yourselves and be kind to each other.